You just got fired today. Time to brush up the resume. Let's get fired. Hell yeah. Alright, welcome to Let's Get Fired, the show where guests share work stories and share advice with me while I'm out of work. Today we have Alejandro DeLeon. What do I know about him? He's a native New Yorker. He's a rising star in the open mic comedy scene in Brooklyn.
Right.
I mean, I say that partially sarcastically, but he legit is like getting very, very good.
Thank you.
People are talking behind your back in nice ways, which is a good sign.
That's really good. Oh, man.
And unlike a lot of us who do comedy, he has a real 9-to-5, so he's way ahead of us in that realm. So we're going to talk about his experience with working, whether he liked it, whether he didn't like it, any crazy stories, and ideally not incriminate him too much. And potentially, if there's too much incriminating stuff, I might just like slash it and like stick it behind like a paywall if it's like some kind of Patreon thing. I mean, this is like big dreams, big hopes, kind of like long-term plans. But I guess I can say it on camera. My dream is to make sure that if people are on the podcast and they do have like stuff that ends up being behind like a paywall, I'll like be able to give them kickbacks.
Yeah.
So that's great. Kind of like how I run the show, Tall Boy. But enough about me. Let's hear from Alejandro himself. Am I laying it on thick?
No, go for it. I mean, well, I don't know. It's hard hearing stuff about you. Like,
is it too loud?
No, it's fine.
Move it back.
Oh, move it back.
Yeah, move it to your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, ideally, you want to be speaking into the mic, kind of like you know how some comics when they perform, they hold the mic like way at their chest.
Yeah, that fucking bothers the hell out of me.
This is also like very annoying, like the mic technique for podcasting, because like you want to be like comfortable, mm-hmm. you want to give it space, but then like if you're too far, it just picks it up like ambient noise.
The ambient, the bouncing off the walls, and all that stuff.
But you know, it's kind of on me. I gotta learn the technology and stuff. But this is not about me. This is about you today. This is Alejandro DeLeon show. I want to ask you quickly to introduce yourself from a boring job interview POV. So imagine this was like, hey, how did you end up in the position you are? Like, where did you go to school? You don't have to go into great details, but like what you're doing right now and like how maybe your education or just your job and made you get to the point you are.
Sure. I at the moment I work as a treatment coordinator in a dental office. I have been doing that since 2010. I fell backwards into it because I got a GED. I dropped out of high school, because I wanted to be a filmmaker and I didn't need a degree for that. So I dropped out, and then a bunch of odd jobs, which most of my interesting stories actually come from like hourly jobs that I had. But yeah, and then in 2010, someone was like, hey, you know, this place is looking for a dental assistant. And then I got that job and then just worked my way up to become a manager. And then I left that job and managed another place. So really no education, just...
What? I mean, the classic blue-collar story. Did you get the job you're in right now, like through a friend?
No. I was not liking how my old job was doing a lot of stuff, and I think they wanted to demote me as manager because I think my boss's wife hated me. So
how did you meet your boss's wife?
So he was the head doctor, and then for some reason she was a doctor too, but a different specialty, and for some reason he let her make a lot of decisions, even though she had no idea how anything ran.
Did they work the same office?
No, they opened up an office together in Kew Gardens, and then they couldn't run it right, so I started going, because the office I used to work in was in Borough Park, 13th Avenue, and I used to go all the way over there, working closely to her, and then as a favor, and then that ended up screwing me over. They were demoting me, and I was like, screw that. I went online, just on Indeed, and found my current job. So I knew like a dentist opening up an office for the first time, and I was like, hey, I know how to run an office. and that's how I felt. Yeah, just Indeed.
Was it lateral move, up or down?
It actually ended up being a move down because I was making pretty good money with insurance, and now I'm making not as good money with no insurance. So, but it's a lot freer than the other job. I was 6 days a week, Sundays, sometimes till 7, from like 9 till 7 every day, and it was I am much happier at the new place.
Yeah.
Although I'm making significantly less.
Well, I always think about like you getting paid in other opportunities, like because if you're working 7 days a week, you make the most money you can ever make, but you still need rest. You still need like the benefit of like having personal time.
Yeah, I can't believe how much of my life I wasted at that old job. It was on 13th Avenue, Borough Park. I mean, I knew I was the only reason why that office stayed because I left and they closed both practices down in 3 years.
Ooh, damn. So
I moved to Louisiana. So I was like, maybe I should have listened to me.
They moved to Louisiana?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of scammy. Like, we don't have to go into details, but that just sounds like they were doing something shady.
No, I don't know what it was.
Louisiana.
So I don't have a lot of devastating breakups. You know how when people talk to you about like, oh man, your ex Veronica, and you're like, damn, I don't want to think about her. Yeah. I don't have that with exes. I have that with this job. I can't even go search him out because it would give me a crazy feeling. Like, I can't believe, because they screwed me over technically.
They do kind of. That's one thing I learned through. I had like 8 jobs, but I learned that like there's no friendships in work.
Not at all.
It only, as long as it benefits them, they'll be friendly. But as soon as like you cost them money or they could save money elsewhere, it's like, man, it's been real.
Yeah, so, which is understandable to a degree. I don't like that experience taught me like where you work is not your family. It's your job. No matter, don't let the bosses think that you guys are a family. They will have, like you just said, screw you over. Because obviously, I'm going to choose, especially when the pandemic happened. At my current job, those people I was there 2019. The pandemic happened in 2020. They had employees there for 20 years, and the moment, oh man, we're closing now. All right, you guys are going to have to do, he didn't want to pay him unemployment. One of the bosses, my boss's father, didn't want to pay them unemployment.
I actually had the same thing happen where they try to like finagle their way. It's like, oh, he actually left because he did something inappropriate, or like he quit. And I've had to get into like an actual battle where I was like had to like pull like job boards to show that to a person like at the unemployment office that like they didn't just like fire me to replace me, they just cut the position. So it's like a whole thing. They really were trying to fuck me.
Yeah, they tried to, because I think the job actually does pay part of the unemployment, but
I think their insurance also goes up. So for the people, if they're a revolving door, because their employees are getting unemployment, they're like, well, clearly the taxes support your company way more because like you can't keep an employee.
Were you furloughed officially?
No, this is a while ago. It was like 2015. Okay. I think they just like were trying to be smart. Well, it was a big company too. It was like a big media company.
But like owning a business, the whole point is to make money, and to make money, other people gotta lose money.
Yeah.
So, and
not much is gonna happen because that person's gone. So like you don't even find out your company's doing it if you're working there.
Yeah.
It's smart.
But,
it's evil. It's smart though.
It does sort of turn you into a monster, because even in management, it's sort of like sometimes I look at the decisions I make and I'm like, damn man, like this is fucked up, but I need to eat. You know what I mean? Some people are fortunate where it's not just about eating; they want to flourish. So like when you're making crazy money, like billions, and you're like, nah, I don't want to give them benefits so I can own a yacht. I'm like, that's where evil really.
Yeah, I think that's when you go overboard. But like, I think the climbing in positions, the corporate ladder, it is about who wants it more. I've always noticed that like my managers, like intellectually, IQ wise, or anything really. They weren't that much better than me. They didn't like graduate Ivy Leagues or anything like that. They weren't like PhDs or masters. They just like grind harder, and they're willing to prioritize work.
Do you think it's for specifically because you come from corporate, right?
Yeah.
Is it less that they're grinding hard? Because I can imagine there's a person that grinds and just doesn't get ahead because they're not playing the game right.
Yeah.
And it's less grinding the actual job and more grinding into learning how to network and game and all that shit, which teaches you how to be good at that. And then at some point, that's all you are. You're just a person that knows how to climb a ladder and learn, technically screwing other people over.
A lot of that in comedy.
Well, yeah. I see a version of that, but I don't think it's as crazy.
Everybody wants to sell out theaters, but nobody wants to write jokes.
That could be true as well, but
there's a lot of like tit for tat. A lot of like, oh, you do this for me, I do that for you.
It seems like which is why I don't want to host a show. I don't want to deal with any of that shit.
It's brutal. I'm making enemies now
because you don't put people on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks because it could be a version. Now it's teaching you how to, and not just you. I'm sure everybody else to just kind of be dog eat dog. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
But also it's like, I think there is the onus, not to get off the subject of work, but I think the onus of a person asking for a favor to like kind of take it on the chin is on the person asking. Like if I'm like asking you for like hey man, can you put me on one of your shows? And you say, hey, like I don't think you're right for this type of demographic, or like I don't think my shows like would do well with your act. It's on me to be like, either I have to work on my act, or maybe genuinely like it's just like not my room, and like trust you with that.
That's interesting, but that's a very for someone like if I ask you, hey, do me a favor, put me on your show, and you're like, no, you're not in a position. Like I could be offended at that. True, or I could just be like, all right, so then let me see what I can do where I can ask you and you say yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure there's a lot of shows out there that you probably it has less to do with how funny you are. It's more to do with like what you can do for that person. Yeah. So that's why also I accept not being on shows, because I'm like, I can't do anything for anybody. So.
Yeah. Well, I think the act is going to be the act. So like that's always something you can always improve.
Yeah.
Everything else is like, I think it should be the cherry on top, which is like the same with managers. It's like if all you do is brown nosing, going to happy hours and like rubbing elbows with the right people, sure, you'll get promoted, but you're just like you're almost a parasite.
You become. But also sometimes I do. When I became manager, you know how you ever had that dream where you're like, oh man, if I ran this place, I would know how to run it and everybody would be happy. No man, people take advantage. I remember the moment I became manager, like, yo man, someone's 5 minutes late. That's all right. Like, you know, shit happens at train. But then it just becomes a pattern. And then at what point am I now evil because I let them get away with it 40 times, and now I'm like, hey, do me a favor, you can't be mad. And now they're looking at me like sideways, and I'm like, fuck, you become that villain. But it's sort of like, because some people really do. What's that? You give somebody an inch, they take them out. People do shit all the time.
You know, it's gotta be really rough. The McDonald's managers.
Oh man,
you're like, man, you were just flipping burgers with me, and now you're giving me orders. Fuck you, man.
But the person flipping burgers is probably like, all right, now my boy's a manager, now I can get away with shit. Yeah. And they take advantage instead of going like, damn, let me make life easier for my friend who moved up. Let me see how much I can extract out of him being in charge.
I think the right mindset should be, how can I improve my skills to like get promoted too?
Yeah, and there are some times where that's not enough. It's who you know and all that stuff, who you know and networking. But you have to at least try to take that route first. Like what you're saying is the first attempt. You know what? I want to get ahead, so let me get better. If unfortunately you find out that you can't move ahead because you're not like related to the right person, great. But awful. But you now gain the skill, and now like, all right, let me see what I can do with that somewhere else. I
think it works. I think I think like there's always going to be a little bit of both. You can't just like spam like, oh, I'm gonna just be nose to the like face heads down, working really hard, just grind it out, and eventually people will notice. I think you do have to advocate for yourself, but the biggest pet peeve for me are people who are just like, oh, the work thing doesn't matter, like, or like people who are like, let the work happen, I'll take credit for it, and then like my job is to just like market myself.
Give me an example.
Well, the best example is like, in comedy at least, co-producing a show. There's never 50-50 co-producers.
Like someone's always doing
more, and sometimes one person's doing everything, and it's like this weird dynamic where you kind of have to you definitely like are both doing something, but like if you count the hours of like how much time people spend like marketing or promoting or like barking, I think we were talking about Andrew with this before. It's like, oh, like this guy's producing a show, Alex Kolchak, and like he's outside barking, he's like putting the effort in.
Oh yeah, I still remember when I went to that show. I went to it twice, and he was outside, fucking in the cold sometimes. And he was fucking out there working.
And some people they'll book comedians, and they'll be like, "Hey, you guys go bark." It's like who shows this?
Whose job do you think it is to bark?
I think if you're producing a show, you as a producer are responsible for the audience. If somebody on your lineup is like some kind of major name, and like just their presence there is gonna be a draw, you have to be the one who makes a flyer, pushes it out, promotes it, maybe asks them to like also repost it. But ultimately, like if that room is empty, that's on the producer.
Interesting. So this is from my pseudo side. This is from my pseudo kind of business background, running like 2 offices. To me, in terms of business, I run a movie theater. I can't just put art house films and experimental shit and expect to break even. I need to make money. Or I need to put asses in the seats. The good movies put the asses in the seats. So if you're the theater, as a producer, the comics are the movies. Isn't it their job to get people in the seat? Like you gotta like you're the big straw. You have X amount of followers. I put you on my show. That's supposed to bring an audience. It doesn't. Now it's on me. That's why I'm like, I don't get that. I get both. I do understand that you're right. It's not a 1-to-1 analogy, but I still I think it should be both. It's like you should bring like.
It's a good analogy. The art house movies just like have like a niche following. So like for you to get like that space, the venue has to be like, all right, but you have to sell out seats.
You have to sell out seats.
It's the same exact thing. Like a lot of these art house movies are just filled with their friends. It is essentially bringer.
But you're not in a position. I assume you're not in a position because Toll Boy's at a fucking business and they want money. So and there's like you can't afford to not have an audience. So you probably work really hard at that. But at some point, I think it should be half, where it's like, I'm working really hard. I'm out there barking. I'm paying the advertising fees. I'm doing all. But the comics, especially the bigger names, should be able to bring someone in. Like if you have 3 million followers and you can't get one audience member to come to the place, what's the point? Like that's sort of my thing. Like that's how I kind of see it. And it's like, isn't the whole point the draw?
That's interesting. I guess like you could argue that somebody could have a draw, but no comedic talent. So it's like, oh, they have so many followers, I'll just book them because I know people will come. But that's why I think like people have like a misconception. Like the show, I don't think you'll fill a room with like fans of an influencer who doesn't do stand-up, because if they come there to see them, they're not there for stand-up. The rest of the show they're gonna hate. Because
if they're fans of X person, that's true. But then that's also on onus on the producer to actually like, all right, I'm gonna put people that can draw a crowd. I'm not gonna put fucking Mayor Adams who can't do stand up but has lots of followers. That's a weird poll.
Dude, but he might start doing. That's actually a good call. You heard it here first.
He might start doing.
He already started crypto.
That dude is wacky. He should be. He
stole like $14 billion. It's insane how much money just went missing.
That's what they do, man.
See, now that's a job who spammed the networking and not the work, because he got zero things done. But he talked such a big game. It was insane.
I can't believe. Yeah, but so that's how I see the business side of like running a show. I'm like, whose job is it? And I know we're supposed to be talking about work, but the other thing I think about in terms of shows is, if no one's a draw, then the show has to be the draw. That's where you, as a producer, can't risk putting your friends who can't, like, all right, I love this comic, he's a nice person, but I can't put him on because if he eats the bed and that date in the front row is like, oh, I'm never coming to this again.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth doing that favor. You know what I mean? So I think no one knows any comic. Nobody in the real world knows anybody in the local scene. Can't name one comic. But like the one I usually say is Bitches Brew. People I know go to Bitches Brew, and they know, all right, I don't know anybody here, but I know it's going to be a good time. Yeah. That's it. That's all the joy got to be. I'm going to have fun, and I'm not going to waste my Friday going to watch, I won't say
throw somebody
bad comedy. No, but I won't say, like, I won't go watch bad comedy or be offended or hate it or preach to or something. Like, oh man, we had a great time. Oh man, you know what? Oh damn, like, where should I go? Oh man, I went to Tall Boy. I took my girl to Tall Boy. This is show at this dispensary. Go there. That's what.
Yeah, they built a brand over a long period of time. At this point, they have to protect the brand.
You're talking about Bitches Brew specifically.
Yeah, Bitches Brew. Yeah,
I'm talking about, but like if Tall Boys, a couple times I went there, it's been packed.
Yeah, I might rebrand though, so we'll see if it's gonna be Tall Boy in the future.
Sure,
but yeah, no, for sure. Like you want every single person you bring as a guest to be a good representation of like your taste. You're curating a show. You're basically like looking at people who are performing locally, and it's like you're finding the ones who you think are the strongest acts.
Yeah.
So like if you book somebody just like as a favor, you're basically telling people, it's like, hey, I think this guy's funny, and then like they're like, wow, why did he invite him?
Yeah, like you're looking at this show and it's like, all right, so I wasn't offended, but I know I'm gonna come back.
Yeah,
and that's what you need, the return customer.
It's crazy how much of a difference like you get like one comedian who just destroys that night. Like I remember one time we had like a comedian who just did so well, like our donations were higher, people were happier as they were leaving. It was like way better vibe. And then some shows are kind of like they're good, but they're okay, and then people give less. It's so direct.
Well, that's the one thing with comedy as opposed to every other medium, entertainment. It's like, because a movie, you accept the movie for whatever, you have to like it or you don't. Comedy is like, you could hear the same jokes in 3 different venues and just something is off, something is weird, and you can't really control it, and just maybe a couple people just didn't want to laugh. I don't know why. I've seen shows that are, damn it, these people are funny. Why is no one laughing? It's like, I don't know.
Atmosphere's bad.
I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I kind of want to get into the juicy stuff of past experiences. Have you ever had anything like weird or crazy happen at work where someone really, like, I don't know, like went wild getting fired, or like somebody got busted like stealing?
Oh, somebody got killed at work. That's a crazy thing. I worked at, and you can go online and find this story. I worked in Key Food on Avenue A and 4th Street. I had just got the job maybe that month. And it's I remember specifically it was a Thursday, because the Friday, the next day, I was going to go to work, but I had the day off, so I was going to do the night shift. Last girl I see, because I worked at the deli, I was cleaning my hand. Last girl I see is a girl named Tina. Hey, I thought she was super cute, and I was like, oh man, like, just got some, maybe like later on, I'll like, this is back in the days where you could try to holler at a girl.
It's okay, you can still holler at girls, it's alright.
I mean, maybe.
Politely.
I guess, but after all I'm 21 at this point, all the heinous stories at like 29 plus, fuck it, no, just rather not. Excuse me. And I left. All right. So the next day I wake up and someone texts me that, they killed Tina in the store. This girl, Tina, was dating this Puerto Rican dude who was homeless, I think, and he lived in the basement of the store, Kivu. They try to break up. She goes up to those rooms that usually look over the whole store.
Yeah.
She goes tells the girl named Rashi. She goes tell the girl who works there, like, yo, I think this guy's gonna kill me. She's like, nah, don't worry about it, don't worry. And then that dude just goes up and just starts stabbing the hell out of them. I was like, they called me, the manager called me and was like, don't come to work. And I was like, I in my head, I was like, yeah, because someone just got killed.
How'd you find out?
Yeah, someone texted me like, yo, they killed Tino. It was like during the day. And then he ran and they found him in a homeless shelter in Florida like a month later.
Jesus.
Yeah, killed her right in the store.
What about the other girl?
So he stabbed her up, but she survived. So he did stab her up, and I was like, oh man, that was crazy. So it was like 2 weeks there where I was fucking crazy weird working there, because like they had to clean obviously all the blood and stuff. You can find it.
That was just a key food. Holy.
This is 2008 or 9. So the article, I have looked back at the article since that time, and like you could still find it. It was a pretty crazy shit that happened. Yeah,
and it's crazy that like you get PTSD from like your manager job, but not that.
I mean, I wasn't there, so it happened, and so I wasn't there. I'm sure if I would have seen her get killed or knew, I could have had it could have affected me. It could have affected me in some sort of way.
It would fuck you up, because like you either intervene and you potentially get stabbed too, or you don't intervene and you're like, holy shit, I'm a pussy.
That's what it was. I remember the manager was he was, I think, in defense mode for a while, because he was like, what was y'all gonna do? What was I gonna do? Stop him? And then because he walked out and then walked through all the aisles. I mean, not aisles, the registers. So everybody was still there. This wasn't like at 2 a.m. This was like maybe 4, 3 in the afternoon. He walked past everybody, and everybody like, what are we gonna do? Like, stop him?
Oh, they saw him carrying a knife?
I think so. If my memory serves me correctly, he had the knife and he walked out the store with the knife. Jeez. Maybe. I remember because he was... So that, you know what, that detail I'm not 100% sure. I remember a picture of the knife, but because he got the knife, because there's 2 delis. There's the deli you see, at least in this specific key food. There's deli you see and the deli downstairs, where they do all the catering. Like if you order sandwiches, they'll make it all downstairs.
He worked at the key food too?
He worked at the key food. He worked at, and oh my, if you see a picture,
that's a shitty coworker.
It's crazy.
Also a good reason not to date coworkers.
That's a great reason not to date coworkers, especially if they're homeless, sleeping in the job. Like, and if you go back and look at the story and see a picture of her, she's like 22. She was really pretty. Actually, I can vaguely remember in my mind at 21-year-old, she was very pretty. He looked like fucking Popeye, like this old Puerto Rican dude. Like he was like 55, and I don't know if they were dating or everybody said they were dating, but I was like, how the fuck? Because she was really pretty. He looked like when you see his picture, oh, he killed somebody kind of thing. Yeah, so
you never know. Also, like some people who are like beautiful are also like beautiful people inside. It's rare, but like it happens. And then like she's like, I'm gonna see past all this wrong. He'll fix himself up. Like I don't want to like judge. And then
I think that's what it was, because everybody, if I remember the stories right, people were like, yo, you got to break up with that dude. And he was like, no, he's a nice guy, like defending, which, what can you do? I feel bad. But,
yeah, that sucks. Still.
So yeah, that's a crazy.
That is crazy. I'm surprised that that's not the thing that gives you PTSD.
Again, because like, if I would have seen it.
But did you have to work after that happened?
Yeah, I think I worked. But so it happened on Friday. I didn't go to that shift, but I worked Saturday, and there's footage of it for sure, because there's a camera in that room, but no one's. I think the manager Mickey at the time saw it, because he goes in there and obviously he probably just so there's hardcore footage of it, but yeah. And then that's the thing, like the PTSD actually, the thing with the manager job actually happened directly to me, and I was like, yeah, fuck me over, man.
That's crazy. I mean, that's true though, because like it's also like when your world collapses around you, it's like it's a big moment in life.
Yeah.
Because like you have an image of like if you're like if you have a friend group and then you realize everybody was like secretly talking behind your back together and you were like the odd one out the whole time, and then you uncover that's like the holy shit.
Which happens so often, where people have to learn to not care if people are talking. Everybody, and I understand why people talk behind people's back. If I think, let's say, you like, damn, Alex never puts on deodorant. I've never smelled. So it's not an
most times.
This is not an official statement, but just using an example. And I'm like, am I gonna actually tell him, or it's easier to talk? Just yo, man, what's up with Alex? And it's sometimes so that seduction to just talk behind people's back. I get it, and it's sometimes easier than to actually tell, like, yo, Alejandro, you're fucking.
Sorry, I'm just making a note to put on deodorant.
No, I don't know why that's the thing I went to.
I think that's the go-to example. I think it's like the classic example because I actually have a friend like that, and like the thing is, it's
Who
not
doesn't put deodorant on.
I think he's either using something natural or he doesn't, but like it's not bad enough where I'm like everybody can smell you and it's super bad. But also the thing is, I don't have the best sense of smell sometimes, so like I feel like maybe I'm like gravitating towards people other people just like don't want to be around because they stink, and I'm like, this guy's fine.
No, they use that natural shit. Like, you might as well just not put anything on. I don't get the natural. It sucks. We're all dying anyway. It's gonna give us cancer. Just put the fucking aluminum deodorant on. The only one I don't like the antiperspirant shit. That stains your clothes.
Yeah, but I have both. I have the antiperspirant and the deodorant, and like the deodorant actually like it lasts for a certain number of hours, and then it kind of like
gone. Yeah.
Which
it's not great, but it doesn't leave that.
The antiperspirant though is intense. I have to like scrub it to get it off in the shower. And
that's such a weird feeling. Like when you're taking it off, like it's still there. Yeah,
still there. But you know what it's good for though? Swimming, because like when your underarms rub, if you don't have deodorant, like my whole entire armpit will just like get very chafed. Yeah, so that's where it's kind of good, where it's like thick.
There's those people, like girls especially for their thighs, use that body.
Oh yeah, I have that when I run. Yeah. This actually kind of fucked up one time, a long time ago. I was hooking up with a girl and I saw she had like the thigh rub, and I'm like, oh, I have this roll-on thing that I use. You should look into it. And she got so mad. She's like, yeah, that's not common in my body anymore.
Yeah, that's the one thing. And even if you have the best intention, just don't say anything. They don't want to hear it. Now, the one I heard is two things. One, speaking from a woman's perspective, I know. You think I don't know, so why are you telling me? So I'm like, all right. So, and it sucks because sometimes I'm mad curious. I don't notice shit on myself, and then I'm like, when someone points it out, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't notice that, and then I guess. Just to be safe, just don't comment on anybody's body.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's good to like address the elephant in the room, because like sometimes people are insecure about the thing they think everybody sees, and just confirming it could be helpful.
No. Can you think of a time that worked where they were like, oh man, thank you for pointing out my lazy eye. I can't believe.
Oh, well, not something you can't change. Don't be like, hey, your legs aren't the same length. Have you noticed that?
That's a crazy thing to know.
Hey, did anyone tell you have a limp?
But if you're talking about like, you got a piece of chocolate chip on that's different. That's just like, yo, man, you have a
like
stain.
Or like a thing like, oh, your clothes are always dirty.
That's a great.
What, no?
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
Because some people, like, maybe you think, like, oh, like, this, like, the stain is barely there, you can't see it. But then, like, you do it so much that, like, people, like, are starting to notice, like, hey, your clothes are always dirty. Like, you should either wash them better or get new clothes. I guess,
get new clothes. No, I don't. No, don't comment on that either, man. Because first of all, yeah, sometimes people just can't. I've seen.
Well, with a friend, not like someone you just met.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think of the example. I remember once once with my ex roommate. Sorry, man. With my ex roommate going, yo, you just wanted to wear this shirt. You went into the hamper and pulled it out, didn't you? Because it just had that fucking musty ass, like this has been in the pile, but it looked cool kind of thing. But no, like I opened my yesterday, like dude had a hole in his shirt, and I'm like, damn, he must be going through it. So sometimes, yeah, like if it's, but then there's also like shirts that are mad comfortable that are stained, that I have that are stained. I'm like, damn, am I gonna throw this out just because sometimes you can't get rid of a fucking stain, man.
Yeah,
there's some stains that you can get that little pen and clean it, but
yeah, white shirts especially, like you kind of have to accept either I'm gonna wear a stained shirt eventually, or I'm gonna have to like throw it out,
yeah,
or use it as a rag.
It will fuck me up. I have a pink shirt that I really love, and I made the mistake of, this is during the summer, I was running late to a mic, so I got on a city bike, and I was like, all right, let me just fucking city bike there. Splatter the entire thing, and that does not come off. But the shirt is so comfortable, so now I don't take it outside the house, but I'll wear it inside my house.
I have the same thing. It's kind of crazy where it is. I was wearing like a hoodie that rode up and pants that rode down, so I have mud stains on my light blue boxers. And I wear them to the pool sometimes, and I'm like, do people think I shit myself?
That's a crazy one. That one you throw out, because what if you accidentally wear when you're with a girl, and because they come from that world of don't say anything, they won't say anything, but they'll think, yo, he just shits on himself.
It's kind of like an upper back, so like I would have had to shit up.
That was that time you were backflipping and
trusted a fart mid flip.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, I kind of want to ask you more questions because I feel like you were just kind of sitting on the girl getting murdered like it was nothing.
So no, I wrote. You gave me an idea of what you might ask me, and I did not think about that till right now. Because the crazy story I have is that I had this was bad. This is bad on my end, and I don't know. Hopefully, the statute of limitations are up on this. I said there was a deli on the top and in the bottom. I had sex in that bottom deli when they were prepping food. It wasn't great. It was the first confirmation that I don't like public sex. And I'm like, I could be doing this in a bed. What am I doing? There's fucking like tomatoes next to me. Like, this is not great.
You did it by the produce?
No. So there's a whole little deli in the basement.
But you did it by like the little tomatoes.
But like the tomatoes you put on sandwiches already diced up.
Yeah, you stayed away from the sliced meats.
I don't remember. We did it in the dark, and I don't have a very good memory of the layout of the deli. But I remember you can see, so we're standing doggy style, and I'm looking at there's a window that you can see, and the stairs from upstairs come down, and you can see directly to it. And I was so nervous. Oh, I couldn't. So it's still sex because there was still like, you know what I mean, penetration. But I lost it after a couple because people kept coming downstairs and like, yo, we're in the dark. I can still see them. Oh, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I gotta, you know.
No, it's not. I think you gotta be a certain kind of wild person to like public sex.
It's yes. There has to be a sense of like you get turned on by danger. Not me. I like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I would prefer a bed.
Yes.
A couch is okay. If I could just go right from sex to sleep, that'd be the goal. if my goal is to get rich enough one day to just like after sex, someone just knocks me out and just puts pajamas on me and just lays me. I'm just asleep.
Why don't you get like one of those like pajamas like where that has a hole just for your dick? When like, you're done, the girl cleans you up and then zips you up and it's like tucks you in.
And tucks me in with the little hat with the ball in.
It's one of those like forever lazies with a flap on the back, except the flap is on the dick.
That's really good. With the two big buttons that you just unbutton. Yes. Yeah. You can just buy one of those and just turn it around.
It sounds awesome, actually. That's the life.
Oh, man.
I actually do have a question about the deli sex.
What's up?
Did you go down on her?
Not there. We had sex thereafter.
Okay. Because that would have been like the best line. It's like, is this the right roast beef?
Oh man. That's crazy. I don't know why I was expecting that. Jesus. Oh, no, I started comedy a couple years ago. I was 15 years ago. I was not thinking about one-liners.
Was your boner, you use a hot dog, finish with some mayo? You're like, oh baby, that was so great.
Now back then, I would need the whole the dried salami.
Nice. Oh, it's the hard one.
The hard one, hard Genoa salami. What am I doing? What am I saying? Because man, gross.
Giving her that Italian sausage.
Oh God.
Hopefully not spicy.
No,
That would hurt.
Jesus.
Can you imagine getting a yeast infection, having to tell the doctor how it happened? What did you put in there, ma'am?
I put cured meats.
Yes. You know that Subway ad, the $5 footlong? Yeah, most of that.
Most of it. I left $1 off. I missed that $5 footlong, man. That was my life.
It's so crazy how far we've gone away from like that good of a deal.
That was so good. And that was around for maybe up to like 2017 and then that shit just disappeared. Yeah.
I got a crazy conspiracy. Jared Fogle is not really a pedophile. They just used that as distraction for why they couldn't do $5 footlongs anymore to kill the campaign.
I mean, if that's a conspiracy, it's a bad one because they're going down Subways, man. Like you would think it was like, oh, this is distraction, and then their company's imploding. Because it rarely, that fucks up. Wait, man, what are we doing?
I think it's a good, like, I think the issue was, like, they marketed it as, like, a healthy alternative, but, like, it wasn't that much healthier.
Because if you looked at what he was eating, it was very much a regimented, like, there was no sauce. It was, like...
It's mustard.
I think it was, like, the 3-inch turkey one... It was a short one, the 6 inch, and then it was like it was like a fucking Rikers Island sandwich. I was like, no, of course you lose weight. But the battle with losing weight is not actually what you're eating; it's the mentality. So I guess kudos to him for having the mentality to convince himself this was the right way to do it. And it was the right way in terms of losing weight.
Wow, you really gotta clarify that.
He could have avoided, the banging kids part. But
he didn't bang kids. I think he was just caught with the files and stuff.
I thought he was like sleeping with kids. I think they were.
I think he might have was talking. That's crazy. I actually don't know. All I know is like once you slap the label on, it's like, all right, that's a no-go.
No, I think he was. If I remember, there was like
grooming
a doc.
kids.
He was grooming kids, but I assume that the goal is to eventually like sleep with them.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't grooming them for sport. Oh, you gotta cut that out. Just to see if he can, and then throws it back into the fucking.
What if
water?
it was like a Michael Jackson? Well, I guess like Michael Jackson didn't have like the porn, so I guess like he was just like a child in his mind, emotionally. But yeah, I think that once you have the porn, the assumption is like you're gonna take it further.
Yeah, and as we all do with like whatever our fucking kinks are, no one ever kind of just dips their toe into. Well, I did once.
We're dipping all kinds of toes.
I've dipped the toe and then realized this wasn't for me. But that aside, no, it was.
Was it eating ass?
No, I used to love that shit. I've stopped, but I used to love that shit. No, it was pee.
Oh, that's the thing. It's like I think it's one of the first ones that's like too kinky for most, but when you think about it, it's not that crazy.
It's not that crazy. And I remember a homegirl of mine asked me like, hey, would you ever let a girl pee on you? And I was like, no. But then for some reason the allure, the kinkiness of it, because I think for the most part I'm very vanilla, but the kinkiness of it really started turning me on. And it was the moment it happened. It was like, where do we go from now? Now we're just here. This is there's no jumping off point out of this. Like, we set it up with me and this girl, and then she did it, and then all right, now what? Let's go watch Seinfeld. Like, there's nothing, there's nowhere to go. Like, I don't want to have sex on my bed now with all this shit on me. Like, the moment it happened, I was like, this is not for me. But I think it's worth experimenting and trying certain things.
I've been getting ads for waterproof blankets, specifically for that, for like experimenting with like squirting and peeing.
No, but supposedly squirting is
it's
peeing.
Not all people, but it's like a lot of it is like similar.
Yeah, it's like whatever it is. I don't know why.
I think that the issue with like the kink stuff, and like I you could do whatever you want with the kink stuff, as long as nobody's getting hurt, everybody's of age, everybody's consenting, whatever the fuck you want. I think the issue is like once you start like kind of exploring it, it's like you're trying to one up it. You're trying to like get the novelty feeling.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's probably that's the turn on is the pushing the limit.
Yeah,
and then if you're constantly pushing the limit, which then I think that's the kink. So what you're doing maybe isn't the kink. It's just the fact that this is wrong. This is weird.
Yeah.
Not weird. I don't meant to say that, but this is like, well, we're pushing the issue. All right, so now this is regular. We're that's why I can assume no one starts off with an entire vacuum sealed leather thing. I feel like you start off with like, cuffs, and then eventually,
yeah.
Which, I don't know. I'm just too fucking...
the GIMP suit is more middle management.
I knew someone who... They did some... I don't remember what it was called, but they were telling me that they get in a suit and then it's vacuumed up, but like it seals everything. And I'm like, whoa, like that's... I mean, God bless if you love that shit, but... I don't know where you go from there, like what happens next, and that's why I think I'm like super vanilla. It was like after we both finish orgasm, I think that's it. Like I can't imagine. Like I guess all my post-sex stories are like, yo, let's get something to eat, let's watch TV, or let's fall asleep. I came like, all right, so now you vacuum sealed me. Let's get fucking Chinese. Like I don't know what to.
You can't have a girl shit in your mouth and be like, well, I'm still hungry. I can have some more.
I did do this. Okay, this is great. I remember for some reason, I think all guys go through an age of not understanding how anal or the ass works.
Oh, yeah.
And think that we can just stick it in and it's fine. There's no... Yeah, and it's like at some point you mature enough and it's like, no, you need lube and it works a certain way. But prior to that, I remember I was having sex with a girl and I stuck my finger in her butt, right? And she was like, whoa. And I was like, I don't know, whatever. But that's just all I did. I only stuck probably like a couple digits, like a digit in.
Yeah, pretty big hands though, so like that could have been a lot for her.
Maybe, but that's not why it's crazy. So we have sex, we order food, and at some point we order sandwiches, and I remember it was like a Philly cheesesteak, and I'm eating the Philly cheesesteak, and I'm remembering I didn't smell anything, but I remember that I was like, yo, I didn't wash my hand. I'm just I saw like, and it hit. I remember specifically because she was laying down on my bed. We were for some reason in my bedroom, and I was watching TV, and I was sitting in one of my chairs, and for some reason I was like, it hit me then. I didn't wash my hands, and I just have straight fucking. But thank God it didn't smell like butt. But fuck, that could have been very bad. Could have ruined Philly cheesesteaks for me.
Oh my God, I forget that like. We're older, so like we don't talk about like sex stuff all the time. But like when you're 20, you're just like, oh, I did this, I did that. When you're older, you don't. It doesn't just like randomly come up. But then I'm like, everybody did weird shit.
Everybody does weird shit. You experiment. You do. Yeah, it's a weird thing, which is sometimes like I think women especially are surprised that we're very, especially guys are very bravado with each other. Like, oh man, I was hitting, that was everything. But they really don't tell each other what they're doing. Like I never knew what friends were doing. Like in a real degree. Like that story doesn't, like I wasn't telling everybody that story. You're
also just getting the highlights.
Yeah, you're getting the everything that makes me look good. Yeah. You're not getting the like, oh,
and probably a thick dose of lies on top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I made her come like 10 times. she said she couldn't have sex with me anymore just because she can't walk the next day.
Sometimes girls do that. That they tell us that to feed our ego too. Like, oh man, I'm still kind of hurting from last night, or like, oh my stuff is sore, and I was like, oh yeah, I feel so great about myself. And I realized I now like advice to younger dudes: if a girl likes you, you are the best sex she's ever had, and it only matters how much she likes you. Like if a girl's in love with you, in her mind, you're the best sex ever. No matter how, unless you're so corny, but if you're decent enough, she really thinks you're the best, and that's why it always feels like. You know what I mean? How many times do you think that? Oh man, I've slept with a lot of girls and they don't think I'm the best. It's like no, they just all liked us that much, and that translated to them thinking. And I'm like, it hit me very late. I was like 33, and I was like, oh, you only think I'm the best because you like me a lot. Oh, that's what this is. Oh, yeah. Super late to learn that, man. Learn that quick. Like you're not the best. If she likes you a lot, you're the best. And then the moment she doesn't like you, your little dick will come haunting you, man. And it was like all of a sudden you were whack and you and you didn't wash your balls.
That's solid advice for the younger people. Obviously, I already knew all of this. Sex
for the record, man.
There's actually really good advice. I never thought about it that way. I always thought it's like if you like really lay the pipe, like and physically like make her come, like she will like you more. I guess it's like a chicken or the egg situation.
Yeah. She has to like you a lot to begin with, and then she'll probably finish, and then it's like a vicious circle. It keeps like eating itself. Like how much she likes you, you're hitting it really good. But notice when a girl doesn't like you anymore, there's difference between she doesn't like you because you're just not a good person, or she's repulsed. When the girl's repulsed with you, all of a sudden like, oh man, like, and then he never flossed. Like all the like everything gross about you comes out. Yeah.
Yep. But if you love the person, all those little things, you're like you'll start to miss them once you're like not with them. I remember I had an ex, and like the biggest pet peeve, she would leave like tissues everywhere, and then like we broke up, she moved out, and I'm like, the tissues weren't that big of a deal. I kind of miss her.
Yeah, like oh man, and why are those emotions so real? At the moment, it's driving you nuts.
Yeah,
and then like the moment's not there. Like oh man, that's.
Yeah. But also you have that clarity after all the tissues have been cleaned up, and you don't have to deal with it every day.
It wasn't a big deal to begin with. Yeah.
I remember one time an ex would leave floss everywhere, and I don't know how, but floss ended up in the dishwasher. I think she was like flossing right after eating, and she put it on the plate, and I put the plate in the dishwasher, and I'm like, how did it make it here? All right, I think we're good on time. So unless you want to share anything, if anything came back to you, like did anybody else get murdered?
No one else got murdered. I'm trying to think of wacky stories. I mean, anything else, other questions you might, because we went way out of working.
It's fine. This is like, it's all practice. It's also good to go off script, because ultimately I want to hear your POV on everything, not just work. You're here because I think you're interesting and chill. And also one time you told me I'm handsome, so I'll never forget that.
I do. Nice. I think he's a handsome dude.
Oh, thank you. You heard it here first. So we finished the podcast with advice part, where whatever you think is a good thing to keep in mind while you're unemployed or at work or anything work related, just put on a post-it and put it on the wall, and just put like a signature on the bottom or sign your name any way you want.
Let me see.
It could be something simple. It could be something complicated.
I mean, work isn't your family. Work isn't your family. They will throw you in the trash if they could. So if you have that mentality that they don't give a fuck about you, I think you can better navigate shit mentally. Like, no, they don't care about you. All right, so, oh man, like, let me come in a little early and I won't get paid. But if you know they don't care about you, maybe you won't do that, because sometimes shit like that gets you a little bit of points, but then people then take advantage. So that's the problem.
Yep. It's a good lesson to learn that it's never personal. It's ultimately business. Even if it's like you think you're the same level, it's still business. And a good example was one of the exes was at a company where she had like a little crew, and they're all the same level of like lawyer, but technically the next position they were all up in the running for. So the people who were like more interested in it were like more cutthroat. So one guy got the other one fired, who they technically were supposed to be friends. He got him fired. The guy like was like broke because of it. Had to like move out of New York. I mean, he was really bad with money. That's besides the point. He was paying like $5,000 monthly rent
overall.
Yeah, but like he just like got fucked over by a guy who was having lunch with every day. And that's a crazy thing. And it's like lawyers are like an extreme because like it's so competitive, it's so cutthroat, it's so like pathological, but it's literally every job. And it's not like, oh fuck this guy, it's more like this guy is just in the way of my promotion. Like it's not like they hate you personally, they just don't care about you as much as they care about themselves.
Yeah, and that's something that if you accept that in the beginning, even in all relationships and like friends or whatever, if you accept that at the end of the day, people really just all care about themselves. That's not necessarily, it's a good self-preservation is a fucking very big instinct in us. But if we accept it as a reality, as opposed to like, even if people are doing it not even to be evil, just because that's their instinct, you kind of just like accept stuff as it happens. That's why it's like the thing about people talking shit, who cares? Like I know I have my personal friend group. I know people talk shit about me because I'm fucking crazy. I've told friends, I was like, if I could, I would have friends appear in my house, and then the moment I'm done with them chilling, disappear. I don't want to say bye. I want you to just not exist anymore and just come back to me when I need your. So it's like, that's a fucking crazy thing to tell people. It's like, yo, that he's a little bit of an asshole. And it's like, all right, I'm fine with, but what are they gonna tell me in my face? No, it's easier to talk behind my back. Go for it.
Well, I mean, I think it's a fair wish to have. It's just like not how the world works. It's like, imagine you had a booty call and you're like, I would just want her to appear here. We have sex, and as soon as I'm done, she disappears. It's like no like cuddling. There's no like, oh, let's go get some food after. Like if I just wanted her purely for sex, like it'd be like so efficient. But the reality of it is that's not how it works.
Well, that's not how it works, but I also understand that's what I want. I understand I have to navigate the world differently because it's like I can't have that, but I can tell people that's what I want. And by the way, especially that booty call shit, girls do a version of that. There was for a couple years where a girl would hit me up to come over to hang out. So it wasn't like she was coming over to have sex. We would watch a movie, order food. The roast beef finger butt, the Philly cheesesteak. That was technically a booty call. They do it different. It's not just for sex. They come in for like a whole night of chilling and sleeping over. And it's fucking whack where it's like, all right, so she comes up, we watch, we chill, we talk, and it's hours, and then we have sex and whatever. And then next week, I'm like, I'm feeling the type of way, hey, can I come over? Nah, I'm busy. I was like, damn, like, I'm like, all right, so this is what this feels like. Oh,
they use you for like emotional.
It's for the sex, but it's also for everything. It's like it's not booty call, it's date call. It's like, all right, I just need a quick date with a guy. I'm gonna come over to his house, we're gonna watch TV, I'm gonna have sex with him, and then
you're gonna make her feel beautiful and desirable.
Exactly, like a validation. Like, well, that's the thing. You gotta, if you treat people nicely, that I'm sure a lot of guys would love, like for like someone to do that to them. Because they gotta just don't be an asshole to people and just be like, all right, like be nice.
Also, guys, just be nice to each other. Because Alejandro was the second person in my life to tell me I'm handsome.
Who was the first?
I think my second guy.
Okay.
My grandmas would always tell me I'm handsome. I think a friend of my parents one time, and it wasn't like, oh, you're so handsome, but it was like, it's like, oh, dating is so hard because like I'm competing with like everybody who's like potentially like taller or like more attractive or has a better job. But he's like, oh, you're selling yourself short. You're a great handsome guy, but he's also like twice my age, and so it's like, he's like, oh, if I had that.
But you know how wild it is that you still remember that story. That's how compliment starved guys are. Like I can remember when people have told me I was good looking. I can remember even just that, no, get out of here, man, you're good looking. And I can remember, like, that's how, because it happens so fucking rarely. Yep. So it's like, it stayed with you. Like, yo, man, if you have a guy, just give him a compliment every now and then. Even something like you have big hands. I'm like, oh shit, I got big hands. Like, that shit feels good, man.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. This has been Let's Get Fired with Alejandro DeLeon and your host Alex Shklar. I don't know how these episodes are gonna get released, but eventually, hopefully, they'll get released in like clips or videos, maybe Patreon. You said a lot of wild shit.
I don't think not that crazy.
I like it though. I like it. You actually the idea of like you remembering something you didn't think of for a while. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's great. But thank you so much for being on. You're the best. I don't know what else I could do for you. Well, I'm out of beers, but let me see if I can have anything else. All right, I'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys.